Can scientists provide a clear explanation for everything archaeologists have discovered? Well, the short answer is no, they can't. The longer answer is also no. Scientists will always attempt to understand things using what they already know, but sometimes the evidence simply doesn't align. The discoveries you're about to see in this video fall directly into those unknowns. So join us as we count down the 15 archaeological discoveries that raised even more bigger questions. Number 15. Rujm el-Hiri. This ancient site is known by two names, Rujm el-Hiri in Arabic and Gilgal Rephaim in Hebrew. It is often nicknamed the Golan Stonehenge, but names aside, one fact remains unavoidable. It's the most perplexing ancient structures in the Middle East. Rujm el-Hiri is a huge megalithic complex about 5,000 years old, positioned on the Golan Heights in the Levant. Comparisons to Stonehenge come naturally, though the construction tells a different story. Instead of towering slabs, the structure consists of countless basalt stones, collectively weighing more than 40,000 tons. These stones form 5 concentric circles, the largest stretching over 500 feet across. At the center stands a 15-foot cairn, once used as a tomb before grave robbers stripped it bare. It was first surveyed in the late 1960s and has been studied repeatedly with few conclusions. We don't know who built it and exactly why. The stones offer no answers. Number 14. The Lakot Neanderthals. For tens of thousands of years, Neanderthals kept returning to the same place. La Côte de Saint-Brelade, a cave on the coast of Jersey, drew them back again and again between 180,000 and 40,000 years ago. Archaeologists know they traveled vast distances to reach it, but the reason remains unknown. Recent studies of the granite cave offered no clear explanation for its lasting pull. What researchers could trace, however, were the journeys themselves. By studying stone tools and mammoth bones, they mapped where materials were sourced and carried from. The routes were long, demanding, and crossed landscapes shaped by shifting climates and advancing ice. Some paths now lie beneath the English Channel. The effort required to reach La Côte suggests more than a simple shelter. But still, generations returned through dangerous conditions and dramatic environmental change. Whatever drew them there mattered deeply, enough to survive time, weather, and extinction. Number 13. Amazon geoglyphs. In one part of the Amazon rainforest, deforestation exposed not only human stupidity, but 400 huge geoglyphs spread across nearly 13,000 square miles. We're talking about perfect circles, squares, and straight lines that looked carved directly into the earth. Their scale alone suggests they mattered deeply to the people who built them, yet their purpose remains unclear. Located in western Brazil, the sites do not resemble villages or forts. Settlements would have left tools and debris, but only small traces were found. Defensive structures would follow different patterns entirely. Research revealed something even stranger about their creators. Around 2,000 years ago, they practiced careful temporary deforestation. Rather than clearing everything, and they removed only certain trees, mainly palms, then allowed the forest to return. The geoglyphs show signs of repeated visits, not permanent living. They may have served as gathering places or shared meeting spaces. Whatever their use, the forest hid them. Number 12. The Merneptah Stele. If you don't know, the Merneptah Stele is a slab of black granite carved more than 3,200 years ago during the reign of Pharaoh Merneptah, who ruled Egypt after Ramesses II. Most of the inscription celebrates military triumphs, especially victories over Libya and neighboring rivals. Yet one brief line buried within the text commands lasting attention, a possible reference to Israel. If translated correctly, it would mark the earliest known mention of Israel outside religious writings. That claim, however, remains contested. And ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs often allow multiple readings, and scholars have argued for more than a century over whether the symbols truly reference a people called Israel or something else entirely. The stele was uncovered by Flinders Petrie in 1896, and that single phrase has dominated discussion ever since. It isn't just what the line states, it's what it suggests. One word, surrounded by boasts of conquest, may quietly reshape how historians trace the earliest outline of a civilization. Number 11. The complex at Sigchos. The famous historian Tamara Estupiñán's fascination with old economic records led her to a 400-year-old book. While studying its thousands of pages, she found the will of the son of Atahualpa, the last Inca ruler, executed by the Spanish in 1532. Atahualpa's body and enormous ransom vanished soon after. That years later, Estupiñán noticed a connection while researching Rumiña Hui, one of the Inca generals said to have hidden the treasure. He had gathered officials in Sigchos, a remote region of Ecuador. Andy. That raised questions. Returning to the will, she discovered Sigchos once belonged to Atahualpa himself. Nearby place names added weight. Malki meant royal mummy. Machai meant final resting place. In 2010, she searched the area and uncovered unknown Inca ruins instead. Scholars remain unconvinced that Atahualpa is buried there. The complex's true purpose remains uncertain, like other ancient discoveries, possibly religious or maybe administrative, waiting for deeper study to reveal its role. Number 10. The King's Necklace. In southern Belize, archaeologists working at Nimli Punit uncovered a jade necklace that immediately raised questions. Found in 2015, the piece was unusually large and shaped like a wide T, measuring over 7 inches across. What's even stranger, it was discovered inside a platform built in the same shape. Carved into the jade were 30 hieroglyphs explaining who it belonged to and why it mattered, making it the only pendant ever found with a written history. The necklace belonged to King Janab ol Kainich and was worn during important weather ceremonies. What makes the discovery confusing is its location. Nimli Punit was a remote outpost, far from major Maya cities. The inscription names the king's parents and hints at ties to Caracol, a powerful city far away. The jade came from Guatemala, showing trade links never credited to the site. And this necklace may have been a final offering during the Maya collapse. Number 9. The Cynocephalus Copycat Amulet. Back in 2011, an amulet discovered in Cyprus confused experts almost immediately. The small object, about 1,500 years old, was likely worn for protection. One side features a Greek palindrome, a phrase that reads the same forward and backward. The other side shows a strange Egyptian scene. A mummy on a boat likely represents Osiris. Nearby sits Harpocrates, the god of silence, holding his finger to his lips. In front of him stands Cynocephalus, the dog-headed figure often shown worshipping Harpocrates. But here, something is wrong. Cynocephalus copies the silence gesture instead of raising his hands. Both figures appear wrapped like mummies. This breaks every known rule of Egyptian imagery. A Harpocrates should sit on a lotus, not a stool, and Cynocephalus should not mimic him. Scholars suspect the artist misunderstood the mythology, yet the scene feels deliberate. Whether mistake or invention, the amulet presents an image that does not fit, and no one can explain why it was made that way. Number 8. Middle Eastern dolmen art. When archaeologists surveyed a dolmen field in northern Israel, they expected repetition. Dolmens are ancient stone tombs shaped like tables, and hundreds already dotted the Galilee landscape near Kibbutz Shamir. Then one structure broke every pattern. Though roughly 4,000 years old like the others, it was massive. A person could stand upright inside its chamber, while the capstone above weighed nearly 50 tons. That alone set it apart. What truly shocked researchers waited inside. He carved into the ceiling were 15 engraved shapes made of straight lines and arcs. Rock art inside a dolmen had never been documented in the Middle East. Nearby stood 4 smaller dolmens, all enclosed by a massive stone ring weighing hundreds of tons. No one knows how such a structure was built or why so much effort was spent on it. Dolmens across the region remain poorly understood. This one only deepened the mystery, standing as a reminder that ancient builders left behind more questions than answers. Number 7. The Pachacamac idol's painted layers. When archaeologists uncovered the towering wooden idol of Pachacamac near Lima, Peru, early assumptions quickly took hold. The dark red stains were believed to be dried blood, remnants of sacrifices offered to a feared deity. That story collapsed in 2020. The chemical analysis revealed the pigment was cinnabar, a mercury-based compound transported from hundreds of kilometers away. White traces marked the teeth. Yellow decorated the headdress. This wasn't violence preserved on wood. It was deliberate paint, applied with care and access to rare materials. The idol likely represented Pachacamac, a powerful oracle god worshipped long before the Inca rose to power. Spanish records claimed the temple was destroyed, yet the statue survived, buried beneath collapsed structures, hidden rather than abandoned. No written explanation survives to tell what those colors meant to worshippers who once stood before it. Still, the paint clings to the surface, stubborn and precise. The idol remains upright, silent, and unresolved, proof that some meanings were never meant to be translated, only witnessed. On number 6, buildings with no history. Well, finding ruins without written records is common, but one site in Somerset shocked experts. In 2013, archaeologists found the foundations of a medieval complex that appeared nowhere in historical documents. Between the 12th and 14th centuries, the site was occupied for nearly 200 years. Large stone buildings surrounded open courtyards, forming a complex that would have dominated the area. Decorative floor and roof tiles showed careful craftsmanship, some closely resembling those found at nearby Glastonbury Abbey. Because of this, scholars suspect the site may have had a religious purpose, yet no records mention it. Unlike monasteries destroyed during later reforms, this complex vanished long before that period. Its materials were not reused. Its memory did not survive, as sites of this size rarely disappear completely. Yet this one did. No stories, names, or explanation. Only foundations are left in the soil, hinting at a place that once mattered deeply before slipping entirely out of history. Number 5. The Cucuteni Tripelia figurines. Back in 1981, archaeologists working near Trușești in northeastern Romania unearthed clay figurines belonging to the Cucuteni Tripelia culture, dating back over 6,000 years. These were not crude or symbolic stand-ins. Each figure sat upright, arms folded, bodies etched with fine incised designs, like loops, spirals, and sharp zigzags flowing across their surfaces. Some researchers believe these markings depict tattoos once worn by living people. Others argue that they recorded identity, status, lineage, or social role. Archaeologist Douglas W. Bailey of San Francisco State University has suggested the patterns reflect early body modification rather than decoration. What makes this compelling is timing. The figurines appeared only after pottery techniques advanced, suggesting people began seeing bodies as markable surfaces. Whether ritual objects or teaching tools, none appear accidental. Their careful forms imply that long before writing, people used skin and clay to communicate ideas too layered for words alone. Number 4. The Numic Puzzle. This 800-year-old campsite in Oregon created a serious problem for archaeologists. It was excavated in 2014 at Skull Creek Dunes. and the site did not match what was believed about Numic-speaking peoples, ancestors of groups like the Northern Paiute and Shoshone. Some artifacts looked familiar, but others did not belong there at all. Pottery identified as Shoshone ware appeared centuries too early. These fingernail-marked ceramics were thought to exist only between the 1400s and 1800s. Radiocarbon testing made matters worse. 3 charcoal samples returned dates of 847, 927, and 1242, all far earlier than expected. Conventional thinking says Numic speakers arrived in eastern Oregon around 600 years ago. Even more confusing, typical arrowheads linked to these groups were missing. One idea suggests the projectile style was adopted later from another culture. No theory fully explains the pottery. The site hints that the history of the Numic peoples is incomplete and still unfolding. Number 3. The Singapore stone. Modern Singapore's recorded history begins in 1819, and yet legends suggest thriving settlements long before colonial arrival. Evidence for those early societies is scarce, making pre-colonial history frustratingly elusive. One artifact stands at the center of that mystery: the Singapore stone. Now displayed at the National Museum of Singapore, the sandstone fragment once belonged to a massive monolith measuring 3 meters tall and wide. Scholars date it between the 10th and 14th centuries. For centuries, it rested at the mouth of the Singapore River, wrapped in folklore. One legend claims it was thrown there by a powerful strongman named Badang. More important than myth were the inscriptions. 50 lines of writing once covered its surface, believed to record Singapore's early past. That knowledge vanished in 1843, and when British engineers destroyed the stone to widen the river for a fort. Only one fragment survived. Despite decades of study and several claimed breakthroughs, the script remains undeciphered. Whatever history it held was erased in a single blast, leaving silence where answers once stood. Number 2. The Monmouth structure. Monmouth has produced many archaeological finds, but one discovery in 2012 left researchers unsure what to think. Near an ancient lake, they uncovered impressions left by 3 enormous wooden beams. Each beam had once been a full tree, split lengthwise, over 50 feet long and more than 3 feet wide. They were far too large to support a simple house. Instead, they lined up toward the center of the lake, suggesting they once held a bridge leading to a crannog, or artificial island. And nothing like this has ever been found elsewhere in Europe. Dating the structure proved difficult. Beneath the beams, archaeologists found a Bronze Age hearth about 4,000 years old, offering only a rough earliest date. Beyond that, the site offered no clues, tools, or a clear purpose. While the bridge theory seems likely, no one knows what stood there or why it was built. The lake keeps its silence, and the structure remains unexplained. Number 1. Tutankhamun's empty chest. When the sealed chest believed to belong to Ankhesenamun, wife of Tut, was finally opened, everyone expected a reveal, like jewelry or cloth. But there was nothing. The interior showed no marks of use, no residue, no fading, not even the faintest outline of contents that might have once rested there. Yet the scent of resin and aged wood lingered, as stubbornly alive after 3,000 years. The chest had remained untouched until 2019, when museum preparations in Cairo prompted its first opening. Experts gathered. The cameras rolled. Anticipation thickened the room. Then silence. The emptiness felt deliberate, not accidental. That's what unsettled researchers most. In a burial already wrapped in curses, deaths, and lingering superstition, this flawless container offered only absence. Why construct something so carefully only to leave it void? Was it symbolic or meant for something removed long before history noticed? The chest never answered. It simply sat there, perfect, empty, and uncomfortably intentional. So, what do you think about it? Drop your comment below, and we hope you've enjoyed this video. Thanks for hanging with us, and please like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you soon in the next one.